Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. Here we are, of course, continuing our blind playthrough of Blueprints, going into day 113. And I say this at the start of most episodes lately. We had an enormous day yesterday. It was freaking huge. It's given me a whole new world of this game to consider and to pore over and to puzzle over and to recheck. And I've been starting to do, we've got a package. I've been starting to do all of those things and having a great time as always, of course. However, one thing that's really, really exciting about today is it is antechamber. I'm looking kind of in the direction. Antechamber in the west part of the day. We called it a day in antechamber yesterday. So I'm really, 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 really excited to check out if that means anything. It may not mean anything. It may just be that you can put, a kind of approximation of the antechamber there, and maybe you can't get the doors open, or if you do get the doors open, maybe it's just rock, like the way that we've seen in other West Path versions of the house rooms. It totally could just be that. But what an interesting, weird, fascinating thing to try, right? And of course, like as I've said, I have so many questions about what it means. Like, do we still have antechamber here? I mean, on the face of it, we do. I assume this is going to stay here. But what happens when we have it out there as well and we have like two antechambers? Oh, how nice. Cool. Okay. So we get to start today with lockpick kit and a couple of extra gems. We're also starting with a couple of extra keys. 3 keys. Why am I starting with 3 keys? Why am I starting with 3 keys? I had clock tower yesterday, which would get me 2. Why am I starting with 3 keys? Because of calling it a day in antechamber? Because I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. Maybe I've just forgotten something else. All right. So, little update. I'm always giving you my little morning updates. I have been doing my darndest to try and figure out, more about. In fact, this is the very first thing to do today, isn't it? The very first thing is let's go and check out our blue door, which should be open. It should be permanently open now. I'm assuming we're still going to need to go and grab the microchips though, so let's do that. I'm curious to see what state those boxes are in. Is the black box still open? Is the black box and the white box, are they both still open? Yeah. Is the wind-up key sitting there separate? Is it still in the box? Because all of this is going to be really interesting information for me for theorizing about what the possibility of solving whatever puzzle is down there. Figuring out like what the possibilities are. Like is there a possibility to put a different key in there? Is there a possibility to open the boxes in a different order or to open all 3 of them at once? Etc. I still have the same best guesses that I finished with yesterday, which is that I would imagine it comes down to putting an item in that box, and my number one best guess is still that it's key 8. So if I can get gallery today, I'd be really, 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 really interested to try that out. I was thinking about that sound that played when I re-entered this room. Hang on. Oh. Wow, I got a flash of stress through my body just then. I was like, no, it's meant to be permanently open. Okay. I was just going to say, I'm also thinking about the fact that when I entered this room for the second time, we heard the sound of a door opening or closing. I've been watching the footage back of when I first entered this door and got this sound that we just heard now, and the second time I heard this, the mysterious sound, and trying to figure out if they're the same sound. I guess they sound very, very, very similar, but because there was a lot of music happening the first time, I can't quite tell if they are exactly the same sound. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is like, has something else gone on that is an actual thing, like something behind one of these curtains It happened as soon as I crossed this threshold. The weird version of the sound. So I still probably think it was probably a glitch. It was probably just this sound of the doors opening happening again. Aha. Well, in that case, this is very interesting, right? So now this is closed again. The key is sitting there. That opens up the possibility that, in fact, we might put a different key in here. I mean, I guess, I don't know how this works because the actual key mechanism of a wind-up key is very different to any other key. Like, obviously, the idea of a key and a lock is that they match up. So I don't know how we could put, like, key 8 in there. But I suppose, I don't know, like maybe we just forget about that aspect of it and consider that it's a possibility. I do really want to open this now just to see if it's exactly the same. But let's just leave that for the time being. Let's just leave that possibility. And then at least I can, maybe I can come back here with key 8. In fact, maybe I should go and get the Aries key right now. Oh, it's just that I'm really using up a lot of steps. Yeah, I could go and get the Aries key right now, because maybe even the Aries key could be what you put in that box. I don't know. Maybe it's worthwhile. It's just I'm using up the steps. I'm going to go and get it anyway. I'm going to go and get it. I'm very excited about going to see Antechamber, like maybe a copy Antechamber, and trying that. But yeah. All right. So anyway, what are some other things I've been thinking? Kind of, not a lot beyond what, as far as this box puzzle, beyond what I mentioned yesterday. I'm thinking about possible items or contraptions to use, thinking about how words in the investigated anagram might relate to different items potentially. Including some of the weird, more unique items in the game, like the animal statues that we find in Room 8 and that sort of thing. And I've also thought, well, hang on, what happens if I try taking each of those out into trading posts? So that's, the animal statues. That's something I want to try at some point. Never occurred to me before. But actually the main thing I've been working on in regards to this puzzle is the letters that we can see, on the side of the doors or the windows or the curtains in there, and just thinking through, actually the main thing I've been doing is thinking there's something weird about the way that those letters are laid out, because they don't look like they're in any kind of grid the way that our previous codes have been. And they're arranged very oddly. First off, if we're considering English words, the V appears to be the end of a word and there's nothing after it, and there's no reasonable word, apart from weirdo words that end in V. There's just none. There are some Eurasian words like Nev and maybe others I don't know, but no English words. Also, what word would end in O and then have a full stop after it? It could be no. There are a bunch of other words that end in O in English, and there are vo and joro and a couple of words in Eurasian that I know of that end in O. But nothing is like clicking, right? And then, on the next line, there seems to be a word that starts with S, and it might be that none of these are words, right? It might be that actually none of these are words. But it could be a word starting with S, and on the next line, as far as I can tell, it's a 5, and I had thought that across from the 5 it was a T, and I've actually done a little bit of analysis. Hang on, let me actually work on this while I'm talking. I've done a little bit of analysis, actually copying a screenshot of this in, overlaying Times New Roman, typefaces over it, because I think this is Times New Roman. It very much looks... Did I not press this button properly? Hang on. This is the... There we go. And east. There we go. But I'm still pretty sure that it is Times New Roman. It seems as close as I can imagine to Times New Roman. So I've overlaid that over to see, does it look like that's the case? Yep. And I'm actually more convinced that rather than a T being across from the 5, if it is a 5, I think it's probably more likely to be a 7. But anyway, those are some thoughts. So kind of the main thing I've been doing from this is actually thinking the construction of these letters is weird. Could it be that what I'm seeing here is part of a message or some text that I've seen elsewhere? So the main thing I've actually been spending my time on is actually looking through, like trying to look through as much of the text in this game as I can, either in books or in letters that is written in Times New Roman or close enough, to see if there's anything that like matches this. And it's really hard because I'm thinking that this is uppercase, uppercase. I'm thinking these are uppercase letters, but I don't know that they're uppercase letters. I'm actually just going to like hold on to the key for now, rather than waste more steps going down the tunnel and trying this as it is. I'm actually just going to go on with the day, and at some point I'm going to go back down there. We'll have the key with us, so it's fine. Let's go and open this west path, because I'm definitely putting antechamber here. Like, I'm not doing anything else. I don't need to wait for redraws. Let's just do this and see what happens. Yeah, but anyway, the short and tall of it is I haven't, so far through looking through books, through looking through any of the tech, the notes and letters and things that I've looked through so far, I haven't found any sections of text that would like match with what I'm seeing there. So I'm still going with that. It's a thing I'm curious to try. It's just giving me some time to think. Yeah, I don't know. I've also thought, like, could it be that, like, in between these spaces in these letters, there are things that are missing? And the main thing that made me think about is the fact that I think on the last line, it could be 5 on the left side and 7 on the right side. Does that mean that 6 is missing in between? 5, 6, 7? However, even thinking that, I don't think so, because I don't think there's even enough space really for a 6 to be between the 5 and the 7, even if that's true. So, there's a few other little things I've added to this, like the fact that I know that I can make the word tides in our investor needed anagram. And tides, the 3 of tides is one of the things that comes up in our geography posters. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about the history and the geography posters. To be honest, I won't go into it all yet. I'm still kind of puzzling through it, but I'm thinking a lot about the South Key. I'm thinking a lot about what is the ancient world. Like we've heard a lot about the eras of Nevmora from Ajira to the current era, and about the kings and everything like that. And all of that, as far as I can tell, the eras of Nevmora relates to Arindia, Nevmora is Arindia, I think, because Moraven, so Nevmora is New World, Moraven is the east of Kararika and Morajai and Vera, so the opposite of Moraven should be Nevmora. So I think Arindia is Nevmora, I think. But what is the ancient world? That's spatial. That's the east and the west. But what is time? What is before this time? So, I mean, I have a lot of questions. What are the eras of Moraven? We've only really heard a little bit of a hint about that, but I don't know what they are. What is the ancient world before that? We've heard, occasional things about that. I don't know. I'm thinking about, like, what's... So, one thing I think I've considered, for example, about the South Key is that I've mentioned this before, I think the South Key is probably the actual 8th realm. It's got the little 8 symbol on it in the geography posters. It doesn't make sense to think that our current realms on the in the current era are the 8 realms, because 2 of them are the same realm. Fen didn't exist before Arinda Aries. So I think the South Key is the 8th realm. And that kind of works for me with thinking about the Seeker of Signs thing that we see in the geography poster, because that, with Kararika in the center for a reason I don't understand, nevertheless, that has 7 realms on it. Of course it doesn't have Fen. It wouldn't have existed as a realm, I suppose, back then. Maybe it existed as something else. I'm sure it did. I'm sure it has a longer history. Fen is something. Fen has a relationship to one of the planets, even to the red planet, all of that. But I don't think it was a realm. So, yeah, I'm thinking a lot about what's going on with the South Key. We've heard a little bit more about it. I know that there is one pathway, one dotted pathway. When you look at the South Key on the geography poster, there's one dotted pathway to and from it, and it comes from the bottom of Kararika's continent. So I'm wondering, is Kararika the place that led the what's the word, what's the word, the not exhibitions, I'm having a mental blank, you know what I mean, the exhibitions, you know what I mean, the trips, the research trips to the South Key. Was that Kararika leading that, where two of them never returned and one of them seemed to have some kind of encounter or success? And that has actually made me think, well, the mysterious people who are at the top of one of the posters, who seem to be holding black water, and maybe I have been imagining for a long time, are the ones who have given this important magical stuff to whoever, other people. I was always imagining that this was a depiction of gods, because they're literally like amongst the stars and the clouds in that picture. But maybe they're just people in the South Key who have this Infinity 8 unknown death magical black water. I don't know. I'm thinking about that, and so I'm trying to like now go back through my histories and back through my historical and geographical references to think beyond the eras of Nevmora, or at least to think about them in a new way as well. Because also in one of the geography posters, we see the king who has the 2 sons and the 1 daughter. Now that must be, and there's a whole bunch of people who seem to be coming to the king, right? And what I know is that at least some of those people in that big crowd up the right-hand side of the geography poster, at least some of them, if not all of them, are Eurasian, because they have the Eurasian hats on with the little feathers. So why are they going to the 4th king? And who the freaking hell is the 4th king of Arindia? This is the one who split Arindia into 3 realms after the Horus line has ended, because we know that the 3rd king is the last in the line of Horus. So who the hell is the 4th king? I don't know. Is it Desolates? Because we have a King Desolates 3rd in the 4th era. It would kind of have to mean that the 2nd era and the 3rd era were pretty short, like they only had 1 king each in them. But I don't know. Anyway, so as you can see, I'm still thinking about that. Anyway, oh my god, this is literally the best selection of things, because I do still want to do a schoolhouse day. I want to get the exam blue memo very badly. I've also been thinking, I mentioned in recent episodes, I'm thinking about where there might be more blue doors. And so I've been thinking, like, what are some other parts of the estate where I can imagine we might be able to go forward, including Gemstone Cavern, including, blah, 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 Ares Court, and of course I've since also thought Tomb, because Tomb has already had so many extra things in it. It could very well have more, right? Just Tomb in and of itself. Like, I'm sure that there's more things to do in Tomb, and maybe it relates to the Aegean angels, and maybe it relates to the cryptograph that mentions Joya and a slab. I don't know, but I don't know what to try in there yet. I'm just thinking, surely Tomb. Maybe I have to go in there with the Black Scepter. There's so many new possibilities that have opened up. But for now, oh, here we are. Okay. All right. So it is the same antechamber. Okay. I'm dying. It's not the same. So close yet so far away. Ha. I'm dead. I have died. I have died. I have died. Okay, all right. This has turned out great. If nothing else comes of this, I'm so pleased just to get this message. I'm so pleased to get this message. And I mean, given that it's saying you're so close yet so far away, like, is it telling me? It is telling me. It's telling me two things, isn't it? It's telling me one thing, I'm so close, and it's telling me something else, I'm so far away. So in what way am I close and in what way am I far away? And from what? To what? Absolutely fascinating. Okay. So this is really weird because does it mean that I can have 2 basement keys today? Hang on. Let's look at... Has this changed? From its root meaning, the room before, all signs and paths point towards the antechamber. I mean, that in itself becomes a more interesting sentence when you think beyond the early parts of the game, right? All signs and paths point towards the antechamber, not just in the house, but beyond the house. And also, of course, the word signs is so much more meaningful for us now. This mysterious sealed room, resting on the 9th rank, even that could be an interesting, way of phrasing it. It's not actually, maybe they're just saying it's just having a little sit on the 9th rank, but it's not actually its home. This mysterious sealed room resting on the 9th rank may prove, however, quite an initial challenge to even reach, let alone enter. Still, you can't help but draw a connection between this chamber and room 46. Now, this is what it still says after we have, on the face of it, reached room 46, but I am in doubt. I have always been in doubt about all of this. I've never, ever looked at this so closely. It's actually it's like a thick bit of glass, isn't it? Oh, God. Now I'm like, are there letters? My whole world is like, are there hidden letters here now? Gotta check, don't I? It's such a beautiful ceiling. This room is just so well designed to be so perfectly, such a perfectly mysterious, ethereal antechamber. Okay, now the great thing is I already have access to a north lever. I don't have access to the key card yet. So as excited as I am to open the north lever and go back there, just in the interest of step efficiency, I'm first going to do some drafting in the house. Now, I have another weird idea for today. This is probably quite weird, but today is my first day in a long time to have the option of the scepter, to not have it, already on, in my inventory, to not have it already be blue. And I also, but the other thing is, I also don't have a huge big goal with the scepter anymore. We've opened the blue door now. That was my big one. So now I feel a lot of, like a bit more freedom with now I can kind of try other things with the scepter. Of course, I think probably, there's got to be some super interesting stuff you can do with black, and no doubt there are some other interesting things, but there's also just on the face of it, the thing that the scepter does, which is, just make different color rooms more likely. I've been thinking through all kinds of different things. I was thinking, should I actually try violet first, because I'm really, really keen on getting the telescope and getting the last planet in a planetarium. And I have another reason for being really keen on that as well now, which is that, and this has been bubbling for a while, but I'm really thinking about this quite pointedly now, and this connects with what I'm planning on doing today, so I'll let you know. I've been thinking more and more, and I've mentioned this several times, about the game design in terms of the pathways of progress, what needs to happen before other things happen. And at this stage in the game, we have lots of examples of how things work. like which step ones need to be followed by which step twos and which step threes, which things give access to this and that, etc. And so one thing I'm taking quite seriously is the potential importance of all of the found floor plans, because these are all important things. Like Mechanarium, as an example, Mechanarium has already been critical, because Mechanarium got us one of the inner sanctum keys, which allowed us to get all of the inner sanctum doors open, which allowed us to get blue tents. And I suppose, if nothing else, that has been critical for getting to the family core and getting to the cryptograph, which I still don't know where that's going, but nevertheless, clearly critical room for progress. Treasure trove and throne, obvious. Treasure trove, regardless of what other things exist, treasure trove has been necessary for getting the scepter. Throne has been necessary for getting blue door/doors open. This raises questions for me about the other ones, beyond, again, what they just do on the tin. Lost and found, I'm still curious. I've always been like, I'm sure some super interesting things show up in this room. Rare items, We've already seen something here that I've never seen somewhere else. And it's connected to this clearly important anagram investigated thing. But I think that there are probably more secrets to be found in this room. So I'm curious to just keep trying that. Conservatory is a brilliant room. It's super helpful on the tin, on the face of it. But are there more important things to be had from conservatory that relate to critical progress points? I don't know. I'm wondering about that, but I don't have any ideas right now. Tunnel, and so planetarium, the obvious thing for me is to at least try getting all of the planets and see what happens from that. So far, the planets have given us a really interesting cutscenes, really interesting resources, and information, like a bit more information about each planet, which is great. But I do wonder, what happens when I get all of them? So I'm only one step away from that. I'm really curious about it. Closed exhibit, again, we get the red crown. That's really cool, but is there something else going on with this room, again, that could be related to critical points of progress? I don't know. What I'm focused on, however, and at least the thing that I've been needing to experiment with way more for a long while, is tunnel. So my plan today, apart from getting antechamber open and doing, trying to get gallery and key aid and all sorts of stuff like that, is to get myself the scepter, change it to orange, and try to get tunnel. I'm going to try and get it over this side on rank 2. Because what I want to try, I've got 3 things I ultimately want to try with tunnel. One is to draft it as low as I can in the house on rank 2 and go all the way up somewhere where ultimately I can get 8 tunnels. 8, important number 8, maybe that's something. The second thing I want to try is getting tunnel specifically straight from this door and going all the way up and seeing if it means anything that we hit antechamber. I don't know. The third thing I want to try, of course, that seems very compelling to me, is getting tunnel in West Path and seeing if it does anything there. So for the time being, let's draft over this side, see what resources we can get, see hopefully if I can get, treasure trove at some point, etc., etc. Yeah. And then I'm going to use the scepter to try and help me with this whole tunnel thing. So I think let's start with Den just to get some more exits, and that gets us direct access to the corner. I do have probably enough keys to open that, but let's try here. Well, that's no good to me right now because I don't have a way of bypassing the security. Vault is not good for this spot, so let's do spare veranda here. Yeah, and obviously, getting some kind of redraw ability would be really, really, really exceptionally good. Oh, hello. Okay. I obviously... Damn it. So obviously I was hoping for this. Specifically, it's already been very successful to have keycard in coat check. I just didn't really want it here. They're giving me Vault a lot as well, which makes me curious. Yeah. I'm going to do Parlor here. I know that coat check is going to keep showing up. I have confidence in that. I could also... Here's another thing to try, right? Should I save all of my wind-up keys so that I can build up enough to open up all of the boxes? Maybe I'll just hold on to it for now. Oh, okay. All right. That's not my favorite. I was really hoping to be able to go north from here just to make more drafting possibilities. Okay. So that makes me reliant on the north exit from entrance hall for going forward. Let's go observatory then and see what we can get from this. Alright, that's great. That's very great. This is all good. Lovely. And we're back up to 41 stars. And yeah, of course I would like... I'm just looking at all the planets now. Of course I would like... I've totally lost my train of thought. What was it that I wanted, that I liked? What was I going to say? I've totally lost my train of thought immediately. I got distracted by the planets. Oh, now I've got a 3-door room where I don't want one. Okay. I could put Parlor here just to have more gem access and also get the wind-up key. But I think I'm going to put bedroom closet here. It's a good spot for, yeah. It's a good spot for a dead-end room. And we can at least just go and draft in the corner now. Okay, that works for me. And I guess I've got maybe let's hang on to it for a second. Okay, so conservatory, really, really good. Library, you served me so well the other day. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Aha, okay. All right. Maybe getting treasure trove is the best thing here, so that at the very least we have this. Yep, we've got the scepter already. We've at least got access to the scepter. Cool. Oh, I didn't mean to take it. Whoops. Okay. Oh, well, look, either way. Look, this is what I'm committing to doing. So let's just do it from here. Because yeah. So I'm going to go, as weird as it might sound, I am going to go orange today. I'm going to try to see if I can make tunnel. Hallways are more common today. Yep. It's weird. It's weird, but I'm doing it. It's weird, but I'm doing it. I've got to investigate this room more. So, yeah, I suppose we need to use a key here. We might as well do this. Exciting, exciting. All right, I'm working with 2 different notebooks now, so I've got to pull up where I'm. This one is 30. No, this one is 40. Is there a 40th treasure trove box? A blue moon. Okay. Page 6 of a new clue hides a secret. Well, so it is a blue note, on the face of it, true. However, do I have any rules? Not that I can see right now related to blue box with moon. Okay, I'll go back through that and double check though, but so far this seems, I mean, I assume every page of a new clue hides a secret, but Page 6 of a new clue. Is it just the one with the magnifying, with the tiny numbers? Hides a secret. Interesting. Let me just check right now which page this is. And of course we've got two different versions of a new clue to consider anyway. A new clue. A new clue. I'm actually like, I'm trying to remember how the page numbers work. Of course I have this worked out from the new clue. Here we go. A new clue. Yeah, okay. So the sort of the title page is page 1. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that is the, yeah, okay, that is the one that has the numbers, the numbers that you need the magnifying glass to see. Okay, I mean, look, it probably hides many other secrets beyond that, but maybe that's what this is referring to. Okay, understood. Taking a photo of it. Cool. I'll take a little bit more cash. There we go. We'll leave a bunch of it there. I'm not going to need more than 170 in any instance. Okay, let's go up from entrance hall then and see what we get. Yeah, okay, so we've already got the option for tunnel. I could take this right now. And just go straight up to antechamber, but I decided that the first one I wanted to try was to do 8 tunnels in a row. So I'm hoping to get it one more space over. So on rank 2 in column D, essentially. So for here, let's put vestibule, in a sense, just kind of getting more of the, you know, the tunnels out of the way. Let's go forward and maybe we can get some more. Okay. Now the great thing about Great Hall is it's also going to give me a locker. I think I'm going to go ahead and put foyer here, because if I do manage to get tunnel where I want it, then we don't need we don't need anything that's going to take us further east, basically, necessarily. So I think I might go foyer here. It is running down my gems. Okay, this is probably not going to work out to be like a foyer experiment or anything. Let's put lab here, just to move us away. Yeah, just to move us kind of away from this spot. That suits me fine. I doubt lab is the room, if any, that interacts with foyer. We can get an experiment set up, which is cool. And maybe it's opening the antechamber doors, right? No, it's not. Okay. In that case, let's do chests. I think that might be the most useful thing to do today. And let's do it with upgraded floor plans. Yep. Okay, if I add 3 aquariums, I know that obviously aquariums are also going to count as hallways. And so... like it would preference all of those aquariums, you know what I mean? Staff announcements. Yay, we got something new. I remember when Mr. Nagula first discovered the letters on the statue in the cloister. So maybe they're giving you that hint. He thought they were graffiti and attempted to scrub them off. I had to gently inform him that random letters or randomly missing letters found under the Baron's watch should not be considered out of place. Thank you, Anne. And I have, thankfully by this point, figured out the cloister letters, but it is a nice reminder to me that the new weirdo letters that I've discovered must also have a place, right? Cool. Let's do that. I'm actually going to log out and not do security just yet because I'm hoping that I might soon be able to get... Okay, well, let's do Great Hall here then. Yeah, I'm hoping that I might soon be able to get the cloakroom again. I do have lockpick kit, which is great. Oh, these are all open because of foyer anyway. Oh, great. Okay, super useful. Let's just open everything. So we should get some items as well. Okay, there's another side. So which one are you showing me, game? It's definitely showing me the one, you know, on rank 9 because it doesn't have the little pedestal isn't up yet. That's interesting. Ho ho ho. We get gems. And that door is unusable. Okay, kind of good. We're getting a lot of hallways out of the way as well because I don't have any redraw ability yet. So that's why I'm avoiding going here so far. However, I would really like to put a hallway here. I would really actually, ideally, I have this written down in my plan, just like to put hallway here so that I can still access the east wing as well. Because if I do manage to get tunnel here, tunnel is just going to become a wall, basically. So, yeah. We might be cutting off the east wing today, but I suppose at least having hallway or another 3-door option down here is at least going to get me somewhere. So, let's try this next one. Let's do boiler room. What is commissary going to do for me? Let's do boiler room here. Just for the extra exits, yeah. Okay, now I'm just thinking what's my turn back point, because it would be really good to try and get hallway here rather than use it elsewhere. Not sure. I'm not sure. I'm actually thinking of drafting from here to open up the possibility of Ladyship's Chamber from here. Great. Okay, so aquarium is actually really good here. Yes, aquarium is really good. And that's a successful experiment, so that's a chest. I don't have any tools yet, so that's actually why getting commissary would be good. If this could just no. I was going to say, if this could just potentially be Ladyship's Chamber, that'd be nice. It's just my best chance at getting a telescope. Given that, let's put veranda here so that at least we get... Yeah, well, at least we get the ability from veranda. Oh, so good. Excellent timing, veranda. Excellent. So now we can at least... I can't do dig spots yet, but I can smash open any chests. Okay, I like that. No, doesn't look like there's any dig spots down there. Okay, so this is all done. I'm thinking, like, should I change security? I guess it doesn't hurt, does it? It doesn't hurt. Like, rather than get ourselves into trouble, let's log into network. Yep. It seems sensible to at least try that, to at least, you know, set security settings low while we don't have the key card. Cool, thank you. What have we got in inventory? 2 trunks, that's great. As expected. Hopefully, yeah, we'll be able to change this shortly. That is my intention. Okay, good. Good. Suppose I should just do a double check. So I don't have metal detector, make sure I'm looking manually for other items. I'm actually thinking of actually going on rather than turning back at this point. Yeah, I actually am. Because if I'm able to get like bedroom, a cloakroom, coat check, I keep calling it cloakroom. Yeah. Or even commissary. Yeah, that'll be really useful. Oh, hello. Oh, this sort of sucks though, because this is actually like the best thing to put basically here. I would really like showroom though. I could get so much good stuff from showroom. Yeah, let's go showroom. And hopefully maybe we can put a 4-door room on the next spot. Beautiful. Okay, ornate compass and emerald bracelet. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I've got... just given the amount of cash I've got on me, I'm actually going to leave that. We don't need it till the end of the day anyway. Great. Lockpit's going very well for me today, I have to say. I feel my skill has improved with it. I'm feeling it. I want to save hallway for next to entrance hall, ideally. I mean, other 3-door rooms will also help, but it's just that given that this is likely to come up, yeah, I kind of want to hang on to it. Secret passage is a waste here, as far as I know. Maybe something interesting happens if you open it into foundation. I don't know. But I assume it's probably going to be a waste. So it's, yeah, break room and just not quite making it to foundation. Okay, let's go with it. I'm really happy I've got the silver spoon so that whenever I get some food, you know, it'll be really useful. Because my steps are not amazing. So 8 plus 10, 18. And then inverting 81. 81 is such a common number to go with the inversion for obvious reasons, really. And then 81 divided by 9 gets us 9, plus 2 gets us 11, which is here. So this is an inverted column with those two. All right, so if we're starting with 0, this is just rounding to 0, inverting to 0, multiplying to 0, then 51 times 2. Now we're rounding back down to 100 from 102, and then inverting to 1, and then 1 multiplied by 51, rounded to 50, and then inverted to 5. Yay. Okay. Not doing all right key and gem wise. Not too bad. Thankfully, no gem cost anymore. That is an enormous help. So actually, Rotunda would be really, really good here. Great. However, I need to not, because I'm planning on going up here all the way with tunnel, I need to not draft into this space. So let's draft up and hope that we connect with foundation. Yep, that's perfect. Or maybe I should, because I've got no redraws. That's what makes all of this so difficult. I have so many other really good things. Yeah, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. So I have nothing that will connect me with foundation. That's pretty harsh. However, if I get coat check, then I am effectively connecting with foundation just in a roundabout way. Maybe it's just the best thing. Yeah, because none of the others are going to do anything else for me. Okay, so at least we can say we got keycard now. We can retrieve this. Yeah, it's the whole hallway thing that I'm trying is odd. No doubt. And let's just do it. Let's just do a draft south of here while we're here. Otherwise, yeah, let's head back and try other. This is a weird series of things to attempt. Okay, let's use an actual key. So not hallway, but both of these will be dead ends. That's okay because ultimately if I'm going to do a wall of tunnel anyway, they will be dead ends. So let's do boudoir to get the redraw from here. Yeah, there's no avoiding it really if this is what I'm going to do. Experiment successful, so that's more trunks. That's great. More trunks could mean more redraw die as well. Excellent. Now we want to go back this way. I still truly think there's something else going on in this room with these symbols. The Mount Holly, the blue Mount Holly symbol going on there. Okay, and I guess I'm just thinking like, should I try going up from aquarium while I'm here? My steps are very low, like I could really do with kitchen or dining room or something. So the problem here, of course, is I can't continue going northward. However, it just solves the step problem for me, right? Like, I could do conference room and, like, hope I come across secret garden key. In fact, you know, I would really like to come across secret garden key so that I could get the, you know, the east side of the antechamber open. However, I'm not going to have any more day if I don't look after this step issue right here. So let's do this. No other items that I can see. Okay, so this is all going to be good. Yes. Even that just right there. Like, we can't do better than Silver Spoon, really. I mean, obviously we can. We can have Silver Spoon plus the salt shaker, but, like, this is great. This is great. Let's make use of all of this. That uses boiler room, which we already have. Tomato soup. I've only got the one red room, so... yeah, like, let's leave that. This is very good for now. This is very good for now. Okay, that's really good. I still, yeah, don't have a shovel. I can't use the dig spots. But that's okay. That's okay. So far this is going really well. We might have a limited day. We might have a short day, but we've already got some really interesting things we can try. We want to go straight down. Straight down, yeah? I need to make sure I don't open up into, yeah, further east. Now we have, hey, a whole series of trunks here we can open. Kiki. More redraw die, that's great, because, you know, I'll at least be able to try my idea. Money. Oh man, I wish I could buy dye. I wish I could buy dye so much. There's so many other ways to buy your way out of other resource problems, but not redraw dye. That's what really sucks. And there wasn't a trunk in spare veranda, right? I've got gems waiting for me in parlor just in case. But other than that, let's, with 6 redraw die, which is pretty good, a pretty good position to be doing this from. Yes, okay. I do really want commissary, but I really need to be able to draft beyond here. So let's do hallway here. Now we get a trunk as well, which is great. Oh, actually, I get another trunk because this was, yeah, this is upgraded. Hang on. Yay! Let's see for more. Yes! This is good. This is good, thank you. 10 redraw die. That's a pretty damn good position. Okay, now, all right, we've got aquarium out of the way, which counts as a hallway. We've got great hall, foyer, vestibule, and hallway. This is pretty good. So that means left in the pool are west wing and east wing, which won't appear here anyway. Passageway, secret passage. Vestibule's already gone, and then tunnel. So I'm imagining we've made tunnel a certainty here. Oh, okay. Well, a certainty if I were to get all of the if I were to get all of the options, the hallway options. So let's redraw. Here we go. Now this should be all doable, right? I should just be able to keep doing tunnel from here. So this is at least my first big experiment with tunnel to try and do loads and loads of things. Now I guess while I'm here, we know we're going to be able to just go tunnel, 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 tunnel up that way. So let's draft from here and see what we can make happen on this spot. I don't really super need the gems. I don't really need casino. Let's see what else we can get here. I mean, trophy room's not bad. I do want a corner room here so I can keep drafting upwards, because drafting upwards is my only it's my only hope. Okay, I might then just take the bounty of commissary. Yep. Because at least now, okay, yeah, at least now we can get shovel. Cool. Cool. All right. It'd be really good now to be able to get a string of rooms that will take us north. So it'd be really good to get like workshop, and that would at least, yeah. Perfect. Workshop will let me try different contraptions. It's just more experiments I can do with the box in the beyond the blue door. All of that. Okay. And I suppose, what have I tried from yesterday down there? Shovel. I don't think it's going to be contraption related, but I just have to try as many things as possible. Shovel, sledgehammer, metal detector, and coin purse. So any actual contraptions I make beyond tools will be experiments I can do. Okay. I'm just thinking about strategically, like, tunnel is gonna, here's the thing. South exit to actual antechamber is blocked off. This, when we do tunnel, is going to block off the already open access from the east exit of antechamber. So getting this door open, getting our east access to antechamber open is my only way to get into this antechamber. Now, obviously, typically that is secret garden for me. It could, in a pinch, potentially be mechanarium. Could also be the way to get that open. And we can't rely on experiments for it either. If it is mechanarium, I've already got, just thinking, I've already got lab, boiler room, aquarium. So maybe, oh, and workshop. That might get us there already to lever access. I'm not 100% sure yet. I might need one more. Okay, either way, we're in a good position redraw wise, so let's just go up a little. So maybe conference room will do. But yeah, other than that, it's things that might give me secret garden. Obviously, that could be secret garden key. And secret garden key is actually one of the things that I want to try beyond the blue door, because it might relate to the word vines, which can be made from the anagram. So, but the problem is, of course, if I put break room here, it's going to be a dead end. So, and I have no other way of accessing things along here. So I need to be able to use this for straight ahead rooms, which means, what's my other option for break room? Only here. You know, And I guess then I'm thinking, well, what other kind of room could get me secret garden key? Regular key. So I don't know. Let's just continue on. I mean, I can use secret passage to get me a green room, and green rooms could do it. So maybe let's do that. Maybe let's do that. Is that what I want? Yeah, I've already got showroom. Yeah, let's do green. Let's do green. Now, greenhouse just doesn't go forward, so that's, yeah, it's either courtyard or veranda. I don't know, I guess it could be either. I guess courtyard will also give me dig spots, but veranda's more likely to give me, well, no, they could both give me trunks. They both regularly give me trunks even. But if I do veranda, maybe, I don't know how this works, maybe I get extra chance of finding items in green rooms. So let's try this. Secret garden key? Regular keys. Okay. And a key here. Interesting. I don't know if I'm likely to do jackhammer. And if I am, I don't know what that's likely to really get from me besides redraws. Might as well keep going. I don't think I have any reason to stop here. So maybe if I now do courtyard, maybe that's another chance at getting secret garden key. Crossing my fingers. At least we've got a couple of gems and a trunk. Regular key. Okay. Come on. I'm not really sure what other things I can try. I could still use the secret garden key over here, thankfully. None of these go forward. Obviously, walk-in closet maybe could give me what I'm after, but it's the end of the line. So we'll redraw here. Like, East Wing Hall gets me further, but that's not really what I'm after. What I'm trying is to use these spaces as well as possible. Pool gives me more trunks. Yeah, dining room is great for the steps, but let's go pool. I'm really happy actually about the experiment thing that we have today. Oh, yes. Oh, this is good for so many reasons. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, thankfully I have key cards so I can get beyond here. So that's actually, let's keep going because this is not going to be a place I can use the secret garden key anyway, and then we won't be able to use this one on secret garden. What I can do then is turn around, take secret garden key down to the box, try it before I actually use it anywhere, and then I can just do the tunnel experiment before we go. All right, so I'm going to have to go. It might be ideal to try and get dining room here because I've got, what, 58 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So I'm going to be using 28 steps. That'll take me down to 30 steps to leave from entrance hall. With those 30 steps, I will head down, try secret garden key in the box, then I will head to open the north lever underground, and then I will head up the foundation elevator So we're probably looking at least 10 steps for that. From here, I need to draft around here. I need to be able to do secret garden key here or here. Then get into antechamber just to see. It's kind of really just that I want to see what goes on here with the second antechamber. But then we will have the north lever and the east and the west doors open, and then I will be able to come back to foundation, go out to my second antechamber, see what the deal is. I'm hoping that ultimately that's enough steps for that, but it's tricky. So I could do with dining room here, or I guess the other possibility is if I do manage to get secret garden key in one of these two spots, secret garden, I'll have some fruit waiting for me in conference room. So let's keep that in mind. So dining room could be a really good option for here, or gallery would be really great because it'll let me get to the last spot, and of course it will give me key 8. Okay, we've got 7 redraw possibilities in front of us. I don't need to use the redraw for the tunnel, so that's fine. I may need to use it beyond foundation. So let's redraw. Let's redraw. Down to 5. I don't know how many of these to go through before I give up. So maybe the next viable room. Maybe we should just leave here with 2. Yeah, look, if I can't manage to get gallery today, it's okay. I can get it another day. Let's go with the aims that we've currently got. Hello, Alzara. I'll be taking these suspiciously 8 number of coins and moving up here. All right, now we got a few fun little extra redraws here. What would be good? What would be good? I'm just thinking I currently have I guess this could be my chance to get a third wind-up key, right? Because I have what? I have 1 parlor. If I get a second parlor, I will ultimately have 3 wind-up keys. So I could also try opening up all 3. I could also try opening up all 3 boxes. I don't think it's the thing, but like it would be important to try, right? What else could I possibly get here that would be useful? Just study for redraws, really. I might just take this. It lets me try something. And we get some more trunks. I'll leave all of these for the time being. Car keys, why not? All right, so let's head back down. This is a weird day, but I'm having a blast because it's really fun to play this game with a different. I think I might as well just do all of these. It's really fun to play this game. Yay! Okay, that actually really helps. That really helps. It's really fun to play this game and try different, like really quite different drafting strategies. You know, like a lot of the time I'm trying to figure out like codes and clues and puzzles, or I'm trying to get something in this, you know, using the same sort of techniques, or yeah, like there's all kinds of different. I mean, this is what's so wonderful about this game. There's all kinds of different ways that you play this game, and yet as you move through it, you discover new ways to play the game, you know. And so getting new, you know, finding new drafting strategies and having new drafting goals that make you do really quite unusual things is fantastic. I love it. I love it. Now I can't do jackhammer. I can't do, what have I got? I could do detector shovel. Maybe we just experiment with that because I don't think I'm lucky. I don't think I'm likely to get jackhammer at this stage. I've probably said before, but the sound of that, whether it's detective shovel exclusive or not, but that particular workshop construction sound has a little sound in it that is very it's very similar to an alarm sound that plays in Undertale at some point. That's what it brings to mind for me. Okay, so we're just going to do tunnel all the way up. All the way up. No, dig spot here. Now, I've only ever done, I think, what? Like 3 tunnels, I think, in a row. And quite frankly, I don't even know if they're rooms that are like missing from my... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I've done like 3, I think, max. Tunnel. The problem with this room is that it's hard to experiment with because most of the time I don't actually want to use up so many spaces with tunnels. It's just specifically that I want... And I don't really need tunnel in most cases to access anywhere. We don't need it anymore, most likely. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just usually don't want to take up my available drafting spaces. Okay, now I should make sure that I'm looking carefully because, of course, you know, different tunnels might have new things in them. Tunnel. More tunnel, please. Could also just be, you know, that we just get the same tunnel over and over and over again. I totally am prepared for that outcome. But at least I will have tried it. Tunnel. Look at that. Look at it. Look at my wall of tunnel. And this is, you know, if nothing else, this is just a chance to understand and to cross something off my list. Now, I suppose the other thing is that, it, you know, the other way that this could work is like that you need to tunnel to something. You know, you need to tunnel to a specific room and something happens with that. But you know, these are my first experiments. All right, so this will be 8 tunnels in a row. Oh, okay, that's interesting enough. So we get a chest here that just has money in it. It's okay. Hopefully I can still finish the day with moon pendant. That'd be really nice. And what? Oh, hello! I wonder. Oh, okay. So this is super interesting. So something has happened, but I suppose my question is, has this happened because I've tunneled to the edge of the house, or has it happened because because of 8 tunnels? Ah, a couple of gems and a Morajai box that probably, I guess, probably will have... What an interesting day already I've been able to have with Orange Scepter. With the Carrarica Scepter, notably. Okay, cool. I'm assuming this is going to have a... yeah, and it is indeed. It's a Carrarica one. I'm assuming that this will have... a... allowance token in it. That's the word. My brain. All right. What? So how would this work again? I'm trying to remind myself. Orange is the one, yeah, because of Carrarica, like committees. Orange is the one that changes to what it's surrounded by. This is pink. So these won't do anything because they shift things around in a circle. But if I do that, then I can at least, yeah, I can now use these things to move the black around. Okay. But I have so many orange. So what am I attempting here? Actually, this should be fairly simple, really. So we can get an orange here. If I then get that back up there, I guess I'm gonna need to have the pink in the middle. That's probably it. Yep. Okay. Yeah. And then we can pass that one there. Get the pink in the middle. Slide that back up. Okay, and we're good. Sweet. There we go. A little bit more allowance. I don't even know. I don't even pay attention to what it's at now. It's probably late 70s or something like that. Cool. So maybe every time I do that, I can get an allowance token. But I do just want to make sure I'm looking carefully at this 8th tunnel, because this is the max tunnels I can get. In fact, I'm turning up the brightness on my screen just to have a proper look. Who knows where hidden freaking letters might appear. This was great. I'm really glad I tried this though. What an interesting little occurrence. Now I just have one massive tunnel. This is the max. As far as I know, this is the max I can do. I can't imagine how you can get more tunnels than this on a day. Well, actually, I immediately was able to imagine a way that you could if you have Chamber of Mirrors, and so you can have 2 different starting tunnels. You can't... Hang on, though. You can't... Oh, all right. Can you use Ornate Compass to change the tunnel around so that I could have... Could I have the tunnels going into each other? This might be another future weird thing to try. Okay, but I can't see anything that looks suspicious or out of place. It really just does look like the same as every other room. Okay. Neat. I'm really glad that I've finally been able to try that. That was fun. What an interesting day we are having. What a weird, interesting day. But it's working out. It's working out because I now should be able to get, you know, at least I figure the most important antechamber doors open for the outer path in particular. And whether it's sort of like a situation where all of them need to be open, I don't know. I mean, if it is, then the only way of getting the south, the levers that control the south are the weight room. The weight room and... Is it the weight room? I'll double check, but is it the weight room and the broken lever used in the greenhouse, maybe? Cool. Super good and interesting. Okay. Okay, could this be useful? That could be useful if we're able to use it from Foundation. That could be immediately useful. Have I actually changed... Did I actually change the security settings back? You know what? It's fine. I've got plenty of keys, so it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter. And that one is open. Yeah, okay. I think that's that. Okay, check it out. Let's go. So let's go with our 2 wind-up keys and our secret garden key and see if anything happens down here. I could go straight over to the Antechamber's brother or sister, to Antechamber's sibling, and see if having one door open there shows anything. I'm assuming it's just going to show the rock, the rock face. But I might as well just wait until we get more doors open to try it. So let's do this first. This is actually, so far, working successfully. Okay. No, but why has it done it again? Why has it done it again? Why? It could be a glitch that has just occurred a second time. I am very weirded out by this. I'm very weirded out by this. Alright, I just went to look back at the footage to see if there was anything I could see. I can't see anything. I don't know if it's a glitch or if it is meaningful, but the fact that it's happened twice in a row now, like, I'm wondering if to me it feels like this, the sound that I can hear as I'm playing, it feels like the sound is coming from about here, which to me would suggest it's the sound of this door in some way. But I do wonder if maybe it's something happening behind these curtains, like coming back in here the second time, like ruins something or opens something. I don't know. Let's pick up this third key for the time being. All right. Now, I guess what I'm going to try is just opening this box again. It didn't give me any other option for another key. However, maybe that's because I already had... It could be that maybe that's because I already had wind-up key. So, it opens up the weird possibility that maybe what I need to do is come back here, take the not take the wind-up key from the table, and just have another key to try opening the box. That's something. However, with everything that I have here, it is not giving me the option to put anything in the box. So that's useful knowledge. Useful knowledge to know. Maybe it's just like opening and closing this like 8 times. Makes a great sound. Very satisfying. Maybe it wants me to do this like 8 times, the infinity, endless number. Maybe it wants me to do this 50 times. Maybe it wants me to do this for all eternity. There is no end. There's no end to the journey of opening and closing the box. Maybe it wants me to do this 64 times or 46 times. Okay, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. So the next thing I can try is opening up all 3 boxes at once. It's just a weird thing. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So maybe there was something important in the blue box the whole time. Oh. Something very important, it turns out. Thank God I tried this the next day. So good. So good. Okay. Amazing. This is a whole new book. For a second when I saw this, when I turned here, like my brain, it's like the very first thing that my brain registered is, it's a new draft, and it's blue. It must be the draft, like the missing draft, from my perspective, of Swimbird. But no, it's a whole new book, and I don't have the magnifying glass today, but that's okay. Maybe we'll get it, and if not, we can come back. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. I want to take this slowly. I want to drink this in. I want to drink this in. All right. Huh. I'm so glad I got all of these boxes open now. Well, nearly. But at this stage, I've at least individually opened all of them. Mary Matthew Jones, to my son Simon, in whose eyes I see the world anew again. There are many ways that the word anew appears in this game. There was a blue prince who sat on a blue throne. He had a blue crown made of sapphires and a blue castle made of stone. So that is us sitting there on the blue throne. It's interesting that the knights are positioned very awkwardly and prominently. But I can't see that we're holding anything. It's possible it could sort of be like a little scepter, but I don't really think so. The prince had a love for all things blue. It's the only true colour in my humble view. Seems, to be honest, like we're still being a little bit narrow-minded. Like, maybe we can accept that there is beauty in all things and all colours, but okay, we do love blue. But at least we're being humble about it to a certain degree. So the interesting thing is we're sitting on a pier here, and we have seen a pier in one of our Alzara premonitions. With blue flowers on the shore. He couldn't stand the tint of a hallway or a shop. Oh, dude, I've drafted so many hallways today. He couldn't stand the shade of trees the green rooms brought. I do believe that Mary has written, we seek what's in the shade of truth. True, shade, I don't know. Mary has written that in the safe house. Okay, now this is interesting. He couldn't stand the shade of trees the green rooms brought. Well, look, if it's a hint towards something like that, I wonder about the... no, I was thinking about the shade that we see from the Arinda statue in Cloister, but that's a statue, not from a tree. Okay, there's a cobweb on the other, like the green print, the yellow print, and the orange print. We're obviously in the drafting studio. We're looking at a blueprint because we love blue. We love blueprints, which I do. He seldom talked to others, for they rarely shared this view. He never went to town, nor saw the flags they flew. They're flying red flags. So this is the view that we have of Reddington from the... I've forgotten what it's called, but the mountain up the top where we got the throne room. That's definitely what that place is. That's the only place I've been able to see Reddington with my eyes so far. She's telling me that I never went to town, but I want to go to town. I want to go to town. And I think we can see probably the station exit there. Entrance. And do you know which game the prince instead would play? The one that made him happy whenever skies were grey. Skies are grey all the time. And we're looking at the blue box. A game he had played... A game he had played in the house and on the grounds. And maybe you can guess from the clues that we have found. So here, all right, we're holding a magnifying glass. Damn it, I really feel like I need to have a magnifying glass so much. I really feel like I need a magnifying glass. I mean, look, it couldn't be more suspicious and obvious that it's saying the first thing to think is that, you know, the game is indeed this. It's our parlor game. A game he had played in the house and on the grounds. Yeah, which is right here. And maybe you can guess from the clues that we have found. I don't know. Is there another game, however, that could apply to this, which, you know... I definitely need that magnifying glass. I need it. It was a game full of rooms and the stories that we climb about a house full of lies and the truth that one prince finds. All right, this one is so interesting. What do you mean, a house full of lies? You know, obviously the lies represented by the red... The lines represented by the red memos. It was a game full of... So you just mean the game I am playing. The game I am playing in the house. A game full of rooms. And the stories that we climb... That's a very, very odd way of putting it. And a house full of lies, but isn't it also full of truths? And the truth that one prince finds. And as you, my reader, might also assume, are you talking to me, Mary? Me? Might already assume this game is quite near you, in fact in the same room. I don't know why, if they do just mean the parlor game, I don't know why I need to be given this many hints about the parlor game. This is why I'm suspicious that something else is being said here. A game about you and the plans that you made, about a blue prince and his blueprint, about a blue prince and his blueprints, the blue game we just played. I wonder if that text is going to be visible with the magnifying glass. All right, hang on. The end. But is it the end? All right, that's already suspicious because it's in the box that says this is the end of your journey. And I reckon, obviously, what we find in the black box with the swirl is the continuation of the journey. It does not end. So maybe the expectation is that a lot of people would open this one first. I don't know. Certainly wasn't I definitely didn't want my journey to end, so I was like, there's no way I'm opening that one. Except, of course, that it's blue and it was, you know, immediately the most important color that is part of the puzzles that we've just been working on for ages. Dang, I really need the magnifying glass. I wonder if it's going to be possible today. Hang on. He seldom talked to others, for they rarely shaded this view. He never went to town, nor saw the flags they flew. And do you know which game the prince instead would play? While we were not doing other things, we would play a game. The one that made him happy whenever skies were grey. Which is every day. A game he had played in the house and on the grounds, and maybe you can guess from the clues that we have found. It was a game full of rooms and the stories that we climb. Why would you... The stories we climb. What could this mean? The stories we climb. And a house full of lies and the truth that one prince finds. And as you, my reader, might already assume, this game is quite near you, in fact in the same room. A game about you and the plans that you made, and a blue prince and his blueprints, the blue game we just played. Oh, okay. So the blue game that we just played was to get 8 blue prints in a row. Right. We are the blueprints. And with my blueprints, the blue game we played is to get 8 blueprints in a row. So is it Is it just telling me that I need to do that again? Because those were the plans I made, right? Those were the plans I made. With throne room, maybe. Yeah, with throne room. Okay, all right. So this has raised a lot of interesting questions. I guess since I'm here, let's do all of them again. There we go. So at least here we are. We have all 3 boxes open and nothing happens. I've tried it. I've done it. Okay, so we need to come back and check this out with the magnifying glass. I also wondered if the magnifying glass could work on this as well, because Simon sort of looks at it. All right, and what I can also do is, hang on, let's just check. Detect a shovel. Do you do anything else in the room? Look, I don't want to leave stones unturned, you know? Okay. All right. This is fascinating. This is fascinating. There's 8 beams. There's 8 beams. Makes sense. All right. I'm just going to take a photo of myself so I know which other items and things I've been here with. Other than that, let's go on. I mean, the next best thing I can think of to do here, again, is my original idea of having key 8 to do with, you know, the black box. And other than that, I really would love to get magnifying glass. But otherwise, we have other... We can try again tomorrow with some more knowledge now. Some very important knowledge that I got from that. And we can try some more things tomorrow. But we have some more things to try today. So 63 steps, that's a good position to be in. What a weird what a weird house I've made today. Yeah, all right, so we need to go and open the north lever because obviously we don't have throne room to help us out with that. Man, I would love to make throne room like commonplace. It's standard though. It's standard and yet I've still had so much trouble getting it. I don't think I need the other gem. I think this will be fine. I'm not, you know, seeing myself needing to like getting study with my, yeah, there's no room for it really with what I'm trying to do. So we'll just open north lever. The most important lever for what I want to try today, the absolute most important one. It's so interesting that note says you're so close yet so far, which makes, I suppose here's my interpretation of it. Well, here's a very strong, compelling interpretation I have of it. I think what it's telling me is that there is something really important that comes from putting antechamber in the west path, but I am not ready to do it yet. That's what I think it means. Now, while this is my first time to have a color scepter. This one. For Kararika, and just to at least try going in here with that color scepter. Hello? I guess nothing. Mount Efros. I'm still really interested in like, you know, there's little things that we've learned like, so, you know, we know, yeah, Kararika has Mount Efros. What does that mean? You know, is that knowledge going to be useful at some point? I'm really curious about that. The other one I'm really interested in is we see the power plant in Arch Aries is called the Contessa. And the thing with that is that one of the blue memos in our 8th classroom told us that the word Essa is love. The Contessa is the only word that I've found that involves Essa. So I find that really interesting. I'm like, well, is that relevant to the power plant? Is it, you know, made up of like two Eurasian words, Kont and Essa, and one of them is love, maybe? It's kind of weird because why would you call a power plant something like that? I don't know. Maybe it's named after somebody though. But it's the only place I've found that uses that, yeah, like that word in some way, that part of a word. All right, okay. So we've got 4 more drafting spots before we head out again. I would really, really hope, and the problem is there's not much I can do about it. You really want to try with the 2 available spots to get Secret Garden. Then I can get, you know, the east side of Antechamber open. Great. What I need here, ideally, is something like dining room. I've only got 2 redraws to make it happen. But I do have silver key, which I think could help. Okay, well, it doesn't need to be dining room. It would have been nice. It can just be any of these. So, I guess just security is fine, right? I'm just thinking, is there anything else I need? No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Let's just put security here. Okay, might as well just do a double check. So there's one trunk still somewhere. Is this my mysterious trunk again? I don't know. I have actually just thought though, what do we have the keycard set? Okay, we have this set low. That's good actually, because I want locked doors to come up. I don't want more security doors. So low is good. Low is good. Low is good. Okay. So here we really just need this to be a corner room of some kind. Music room would do. What else is possible? What else is possible that could be useful? Weight room. I don't know how likely that is to appear here. Weight room is the one with the south lever, isn't it? That is weight room. I'm just double checking where I've got this written down. Yeah, weight room and greenhouse. I think it's unlikely to come up in a corner spot. Maybe classroom doesn't help me with Secret Garden. I'm simply reliant on a locked door. Yeah, there's nothing that's really gonna help. There's nothing that's really gonna help. Okay. Problem with, like, I'm actually just thinking library might be able to give me gallery, because I have all of these written down. Gallery is a rare room, so it does open the possibility of key 8 as well. Okay, I'm gonna do library. Library helped me out very, very well before. There's Swimbird. X checkout. There we go. So if I get Swimbird out 2 more times, I'm just curious to see what happens with the card there. It's my little personal experiment. All right, let's see what we can get here. It's risky to redraw. I only have 2 redraws. Yeah, it's really risky to redraw. I only have 2. I have no other backups. So I might give up on gallery. Yeah, and just take the definite way forward. Okay. Oh, This was a locked door, wasn't it? I'm so silly. Yep. So silly, so silly. That's... I could have made the secret garden. What a fool. What a fool. I just got, like, I was distracted by the idea of gallery. Okay, and this is not a locked door. Oh, man. Why? Why did I just do this? Damn it. I just distracted myself thinking about key 8 and the library possibility. I added too many goals. To myself. Oh, well. Look, in that case, I could either just take Sauna to help with tomorrow or use redraws to try and get something else. Maybe like gallery. Maybe. I mean, there's nothing attic could do for me, right? Nothing really that I can think of besides a dig spot. Alright. Well, maybe then let's put clock tower here. Helps us out with some keys tomorrow. Why not? What a fool. What a fool. I built everything up to get the chance to get Secret Garden, and I just... I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. And I can't even use the stopwatch for anything. Oh, well, look, at the very least we have the north lever open. So, you know, even if I don't get into this antechamber, so silly. Even if I don't get into this antechamber, we'll still be able to see what the other one could, you know, what the outer path will have for us in the most important door. So, and I kind of suspect, I don't know, I do kind of suspect from this, I do really suspect from the phrasing of that letter, from the phrasing of that note that's in there. Why would it say that if we have... So, two things. Why would that note in the second antechamber be there if it wasn't super important to have to do that at some stage? But secondly, why would it say so close and yet so far if we weren't all so far? So do you get what I mean? Like, it means we're close, but it also means we're far. I know that that's the obvious reasoning, but I guess my interpretation of that is I think it means that doing this with antechamber is really important to do at some point. However, I think what it's saying with this note is you don't yet have the conditions to do what you need to do here. Because I don't think that note just Hello? Wow. Again, things that are unexpected. So as expected, yeah, this is rock. And I really do heavily expect that this is also rock. What? This is so bizarre. This is so bizarre. I'm thinking that, again, this must be part of a series of... There's the hole. This is the back of the antechamber. Wow. Okay, wow. I'm thrown. I'm thrown by seeing this once again. And its head just goes up. The statue's head just goes up into the rock. We can see its belly button. Maybe it's important. Navels are important in a lot of, you know, like, we can see there's a hole here. We can see the freaking side. This is so weird. This is so weird. So my first thought is that maybe this puzzle continues by putting a certain amount of coins in here. Ah, hello. Steady is the scepter, deadly is the stone, heavy is the crown, ready is the throne. Are you just... Oh, is this just giving the hint about what I've done? Steady is the scepter, deadly is the stone, heavy is the crown, ready is the throne. Dang. I also realized that if I had chosen attic at the end, I might have had a chance at getting the magnifying glass. Anyway, that's fine. Look, these are things we can do tomorrow even. It's interesting that the letters are all spaced out. I assume that what this is giving you a hint about is, yeah, scepter, stone, meaning effigy, and obviously the coffer here, crown, throne. I assume it's telling you about how to get the blue throne. So, all right, okay. So this isn't a puzzle that you can like continue by. We can't progress this with money. Okay. The atmosphere in here is wild. Just the meaning of this being here as well. So, I mean, there's lots of people in these robes in, what we can see, what appears to be sort of like ancient monks of some kind that we see a lot in the pictures in the geography posters. Wow. I did not expect this. But that's what everything, that's my reaction to everything. I did not expect this. I'm sorry for whoever this is. This god with their face stuck in the rock. So up here, the regular ceiling, and yeah. I'm going to have to check some of my other Westpath rooms, but like, I don't know if they've had this. This wall here, I have to check. Maybe they have. All right. Okay. Wow. So maybe so close yet so far away. Is it possible that it means, here's the information to do the important thing? Maybe it's about getting the blue throne room, not about getting antechamber here. Wow. That is so interesting. I guess it's okay. So here's something I'm going to pointedly ask you, and don't give me any other information beyond like the very specific question that I'm asking, please, just so I can, like there are no other hints in anyone's answers. But I am curious, did anyone else specifically get that note, which was the thing that told them how to get the blue throne room? Like, is that note in there what anyone else found that gave them what they needed to figure out how to do the blue throne room thing? Let me know. Because I imagine that must have been, a wild, it was already for me a wild experience, but to also get that hint before you had done the throne room, reclaimed the throne, would have been a whole extra layer of wild. That's really interesting. All right. Okay. Well, I have actually made good on at least all of my core aims today, except for, you know, being able to get key 8. However, the revelation of this book, I mean, I'm still definitely going to try to get key 8, but I've got to think about what the revelation of this blueprints book, what that's going to mean for other things that I try now. Nevertheless, so the question is now, what do we do? Now, what do we do with the rest of this day? I can still go back and put something in coat check, and it could be key card, it could be emerald bracelet. I don't want to have the orange scepter for tomorrow. I've tried the main thing that I wanted to try with this, so as long as I don't sleep in an orange, you know, call it a day in an orange room, we're fine, which means I could call it a day in break room to make sure we have the key card anyway. However, I do still have Blessing of the Monk to try other things. So what might be another interesting room? I'm so glad I tried this, my god. What might be another interesting room to get out in the outer path? I can cross antechamber off my list. Like, I might try it again under some circumstances, but I think like tunnel is one. It's absolutely like one of the things at the top of my list to try in the west path. However, if I did that, I would have the orange scepter again, and I prefer to have a different scepter tomorrow. Foyer is also on that list, of course, and again, I can't do it today. I can't try this today. Actually, so is vestibule. Actually, you know, quite a lot of hallways are things that I want to try out there, but I don't want to try them today. So I don't have the option for roommate or chamber of mirrors. I do have the option for clock tower, and that's a very, very, very interesting one to me because of its height. I don't have ladyship's chamber. Yeah. I don't have most of the other things on my list, so I might go... We've already tried pool. Yeah. What about Rumpus Room? What if Elzara will activate again if he's in the West Path? Okay, I might call it a day in Clock Tower. So then I have the question of what do I put in coat check between... Alright, let's just head there. Super useful day. Super useful, interesting, weird... weird, bizarre, but very satisfying day with some silly mistakes, but in the end, I'm not hugely worried about them. Hang on, where am I going? Oh, totally the wrong way. Not this way. I thought we were going up west side. No, we are going up vestibule, foyer, lab, yeah. Oh, but I've got another trunk here anyway. I mean, I can't think of anything that would be really interesting for it to have in here unless it had key 8 for some reason. Cool. Another day for you. Another day. Maybe even tomorrow. Maybe we can try you then. We can buy Moon Pendant as well. Brilliant. So that'll also help us out with some interesting items. So coat check is up here through Rotunda. Yeah, I think let's go with Clock Tower because I'm just like, what view are we going to get from Clock Tower? Or am I not even going to be able to go up the stairs? I wonder if the clock tower will actually just be blocked. I'm very curious to try. So let's check. I think maybe I've already kind of tried taking the secret garden key to the box and it didn't do anything, so I don't think there's any reason to really keep that here. Except for just having easy access to it. But again, break rooms and whatnot are not too bad at that. I think I might just try Emerald Bracelet in there. Like, let's try and get the other things through other means. All right. Okay, so from here we need to go back. We need to go back. Man, what a wild... not here. Not here. What a wild freaking experience that was, to go at the back of the antechamber and see like a version of Shrine stripped back in totally weird, bizarre ways. I don't think in a million years I couldn't have predicted that's what I would see there. I was really just thinking it's just going to be a blocked off passage, like, and I was expecting there's going to have to be something else that we do before we, even have antechamber in the west path, etc., etc. But maybe that's it. Maybe it's just saying, hey, the way forward is not to get antechamber into west path. The way forward is to get the blue throne room. Here's a pretty dang good explicit hint about how to do it. Yeah, and so that's great. So, in a sense, it's very, like, we know that it's an important way forward already. It hasn't, like, told me anything. But it makes me ever more interested to sit down and have a really good think. I could just sleep down here, but let's go all the way up top. I keep saying sleep. I mean, it doesn't mean Simon is going to sleep anywhere, right? Like, that's what Clara was doing. What we're doing is calling it a day, which might just mean, diegetically, Simon is going, I'm going to call it a day here. And he just says it and walks off back to the tents, right? Great. Okay, super interesting. I'm really glad that, like, my techniques worked out. It's very silly what I did with the secret garden key. Very silly, but sometimes I'm a silly person, what can I say? Nevertheless, I'm not too worried. I would have expected, like, we literally did see the antechamber, right? In the like, every time we open the doors, like the original antechamber. So I think it's probably just there. It's probably just normal. The outer room antechamber, I think we got what we needed from it. So incredible. And I managed to do my tunnel experiment, and it also was great. Yeah, super good. Anyway, I have a lot of interesting stuff to think about in regards to this blue chamber. So I'm going to go away and do that, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.